We are sitting in the midst of our largest untapped resource, human uniqueness. It's true. Each of us is as unique as the stars in the universe. It's considered a cliche, but it's true. Every star in the universe has a unique life cycle and light spectrum with different combinations of atoms and elements and motions, sizes and temperatures, fundamental building blocks of the universe. Each star's life cycle, birth, death, and life, affects the development and the evolution of life throughout the entire galaxy. Each one is a key link to the future. The different atoms and elements in our bodies, like hydrogen, are made and produced by the life and death of the stars. And like the stars, each human is unique, no two alike. The molecules, chromosomes, DNA, and fingerprints of identical twins are not even the same. And along with billions of years of stardust, humans have inherited genetic makeup altered by something called phenotypic plasticity. What this means in plain terms, it's like clay. It's this flexible ability our genes have to alter our appearance, our behavior, and our development depending on our individual circumstances, our environments, and our experiences. It's a survival mechanism, and it's kind of mind-blowing. And in turn, each of our life cycles, births, deaths, and lives, affects the life and future of our constantly evolving universe. And even though each human is unique, we have a tendency to identify ways to be the same. We look for ideal traits of known, established, desirable outcomes, and we create homogenized ideal models. The honor roll student, the wealthiest business person, the PhD, the superstar. And we create maps in the form of frameworks and processes and standards, and we apply those in school and at work and in society to produce the ideal student, employee, and citizen. And then we measure and we reward those who fit the ideals. It's perfectly understandable, driven by human needs and desires for predictable outcomes. It's also understandable to want certifications for people in certain jobs that require expertise. We all want to feel safe and secure and a sense of achievement. In fact, these are the same traits and abilities science and engineers are working to replicate and program into artificial intelligence, with the most advanced robots and intelligent systems being designed to imitate and perfect human ideal models. There are countless conferences and think tanks with experts across fields considering what's needed for the future. And a common denominator in all of them is a willingness to let go of established models, to think out of the box, to think and operate differently in order to discover new solutions for a world and a future filled with unknowns. What we forget is while we're evaluating how well humans fit into the ideals in school and at work, we're missing a monumental opportunity, an untapped gold mine of innovation and new solutions for emerging challenges. Humans are different from each other by nature. Each of us constantly changing with consciousness and intuition, and each of us can imagine and do something unlike the others. We have many examples throughout history of people who didn't fit into the ideals, who made huge contributions, people who thought out of the box. Da Vinci, Frederick Douglass, Edison, Jane Goodall. We still do. Kelvin Doe, a kid who figured out how to make batteries out of trash to bring electricity to his community in Sierra Leone, and because he wanted to be a DJ and play music. He was 11 when he started. And at 14, he became the youngest visiting practitioner ever invited to MIT. At 16, his first TED Talk, he spoke about how we don't see the unexpected innovators all around us. We think of them as anomalies, and we celebrate their big successes, but they don't happen overnight. And like Kelvin, I believe there are so many more innovative thinkers that we're just not aware of. Or maybe we're just not looking for them. I didn't fit into the ideals. When I was a kid, I often heard when I had an unusual idea, where'd they find you? In school, my superlative, like most popular or smartest, was most individual. Sounds cool now, but let's just say in the 1970s, wasn't considered a compliment. And I got the message loud and clear. Being different wasn't desirable. And I spent decades not fitting in. Even in a college for performing arts, I was told I was too unusual and I needed to do more to fit into the ideal models if I ever wanted to get any work. Think Farrah Fawcett. I ignored them. And I did get work. And I had some amazing experiences, but I also experienced a lot of pushback and continuing signals to fit in. And sometimes I just got worn down and worn out, and I'd do more to be less myself. I repeated that pattern on and off for years. And I'd step out and step back in to fit into the ideal models. Until I developed new awareness and skills and came to understand that my uniquenesses are the best things about me. People often ask me, where did you learn that? Or how did you get involved with that? Well, while I've worked in a wide range of seemingly unrelated careers, I learned a huge combo platter of things. Performing artist, chef, TV producer, fitness instructor, business owner, teacher, mother, researcher, educational psychologist, social equity developer, sustainability advocate, organizational culture, leadership coach, and now AI ethics. What many consider to be the unpredictable mix of me is exactly what I can contribute to the world. I've talked to countless educators and business leaders who talk about their frustration with students or employees that just don't measure up, that don't fit their measures for success. And maybe it's not the right school for that kid. Or maybe there's a better person for the job. But what if we just haven't recognized their unique skills? Maybe we just don't know how to look. And maybe we don't know how to identify our own. I had to learn to recognize and appreciate and utilize my ever-changing abilities. And I love discovering what's unique in others. We can all belong in a world without fitting into a mold. Thankfully, we're all different. If we were all the same, the world would be god-awful boring. We can all explore this treasure trove. The unpredictable mix of you is exactly what you bring to the world. And I invite you all to embrace your unique combinations right now. You begin by asking questions, and you start with your own stardust first. What attracts and captures your mind, your heart, your body? What fascinates you? What's changed over time? What do you do or have done that brings you joy, even if it's challenging? And what does it all look like when you put it together? Once you begin to look at your own, you can really begin to appreciate others. In our families and our children, not what we want them to be or what they inherited from us, but what makes them uniquely them. Our students, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, can't do anything with that kid. Well, let's explore. What unique abilities do they have? Maybe especially the ones they're using when they're not doing what we want them to do. Our employees, while we're searching for new talent, which is great and needed, Have we missed the unused talent sitting right in front of us? What gifts does that person have that we haven't seen? What about them? Our colleagues, friends, neighbors, communities. The cool thing is, we can do this again and again. It's an iterative, repeating process, remembering that what's unique about us changes over time. It's plasticity again. We are literally not the same person today we were yesterday. Cellularly, our bodies, including our brains, replace billions of cells every single day, and we change. Just look at us as newborns and at each phase of life. I was mistaken to think that my uniqueness would stagnate. And along with our continual changes, our potential is continually evolving. That's the amazing thing about human uniqueness and why it's our largest untapped resource. Imagine how we would interact with each other differently in every area of life if we understood that. Imagine what we might discover together. Like each star in the galaxy, each of our lives affects ripples and creates ripples that affect and form our collective futures.